Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Other's Keeper. We have Mary. She's sitting outside. Yay! And yeah, so we're going to have a visit with her. Now, if you take a look back on the August 6th, episode number 63, we talked with Mary about one last hug.
Yeah.
Why it's so important to have that, why it's so important to her to have that.
Yeah.
And what it would mean to her to be able to do that with her aunt. Well, she's done it.
Yes.
She's had that time. And this is now time to come back and report and reflect and all of those really great things.
Yes.
So, Mary, thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Yes. Well, I thought it was fitting. We were having computer problems, and on top of the fact that my aunt loved to sit out where I'm sitting, so I figured out, well, maybe it's just supposed to happen out here because she really enjoyed coming out and sitting with her coffee and just sitting out. And she's still a smoker, so she'd come out here and have her coffee and just sit and relax. So I thought, well, it's fitting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
We were the funny thing about her coming up here in the sense of on Thursday was that when we lived in Florida, it seemed like 4:00 in the afternoon, no matter what, we would have pesky thunderstorms. And that is what happened, which delayed her flight by about 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, no way.
And so she was delayed. And then when she went home, she was delayed by more pesky thunderstorms on the way to Florida. It was like, dang on pesky thunderstorms. But, understand that the airport is about an hour and a half away from us. Her airport in Florida is about 20 minutes away. So it was, for her, very different because she's like, oh, you guys have to drive 45 minutes away for everything. I'm like, yep. We do. That's just what we, it's not uncommon for us to get in the car and drive an hour away for, Walmart's not an hour away, but to going to see Christina's an hour, church is half an hour away, and it's like, it's just become common.
Yeah.
And so for her in South Florida, where everything's just like there,
yeah,
like, are we back home yet? I'm like, no, we're not. So she arrived and on Thursday, and she got here, I think, at 10:30, and Christina drove and spent the night, and I think it was like 1:00 in the morning before we went to bed. Mocha took a little while to get used to Patty, as she does with everybody.
Yeah.
She did her normal Mocha thing, and then by the end of the visit, she was like all over her. It was like, she slept with her one night and she loved on her, and she warmed up to her. It just took her a while, but
yeah,
we did that. And then the next morning, we got up and we had breakfast, and we had gone to a local store that not about 45 minutes, 50 minutes away is the Amish country. And they have about the best cinnamon rolls you will ever find, at least I know of. And they're Walnut Creek. So if you ever come down to the Amish country, you have to go stop by Walnut Creek because it's a huge place. And I plan to take my people there and show them around. So there's a place not far from here that I called up because we have a place really close and they didn't have any. I said, do you have any of the Walnut Creek cinnamon rolls? And they go, yes. I said, well, we're just going to the place 20 minutes away. So they had those in the freezer, and we were able to go pick them up and make sure that they were here. And we had egg pie, which is a recipe on my channel. And we had cinnamon rolls, and we just chit-chatted. And then Christina and my aunt went for their horseback riding thing, which was so wonderful. It will be.
Let me just put up a picture here of Christina and Aunt Pat. Patty or Pat?
Patty.
Patty, okay.
Yeah, she calls
Dr. Christina.
Yeah, she calls her Auntie Patty because it's her great
Okay.
aunt. I call her
Ah,
Aunt Patty or Patty. But
right.
that was their horses, and it was so funny because my aunt was just saying, "I just love the golden flecks in the hair on my horse, or Christina's horse. I can't remember which one." I was sitting there going, "That's a hairdresser for you."
That's something I would say too. Yep.
I love that picture because it was just like
Beautiful.
it was one I took, and it was just kind of like just them sitting both on the horses looking out at this beautiful, Ohio countryside. She's done horseback riding, but it's been on a beach. So this was very different.
Oh,
Doing it more in the country and the countryside and the hillsides of Florida or Ohio instead of the beaches of Florida.
yeah, that
Um,
would be different.
and Christina had a huge draft horse she was doing on, and everybody on the ride, when they say, "Okay, it's time to trot," and Patty's like, "No, I'm not ready for that yet." And they go, "Okay, well, if we start trotting, all the horses are going to trot, so we're not going to trot."
Hmm.
So they couldn't have been sweeter about that. And my aunt said that was probably her favorite, was the horseback riding. And I got the sweetest picture of her on top of that horse. I think out of all the pictures we took, it was a picture that
Why do
I
I
think
not have that one up?
I think I did. I sent it to you.
Yeah, I just
It was her on the horse, and it was
and
just,
on the horse. There we go.
yeah. I think it was probably my favorite picture
There
of
we
the
go.
entire time taking, and it was so funny because I'm thinking even that horse's tail had a little
Little attitude.
little attitude.
Hi, Daniel. Nice to see you
Hi,
here.
Daniel. So that was probably my favorite picture. And let me just say something about that picture. Um, Despite the fact that she has terminal cancer, she is a fighter like you can't believe.
Big
Um,
smile.
you can't tell that this woman is suffering from stage 4 liver and
Mhm,
lung cancer. She is
mhm,
determined to fight till the very end. Um,
mhm.
One thing she said to us is, "I don't understand why they just can't go in and cut out the cancer." Well, if they do, if first of all, it's too far spread and it's a bunch of tentacles now, and a lot of cancer patients that they've opened up, the air hits the cancer, and of course it spreads more. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, it'd be like just take out the cancer, but it's too spread, especially dealing with the lungs. Um,
mhm.
but she kept up with us despite going through chemo, and we had things to do and everything, and she kept going. Saturday, Christina wanted her to go fishing, and it decided
Oh,
to rain, and I'm like,
oh,
"Can we just part the Lord, just part the clouds, please, just let it go."
right.
And it was like 3 o'clock. We winded up in a place that she wanted to go fishing, so we all sat on chairs and just sat and relaxed. There was no fish caught. We even went and got a fishing license for Josh. The only person that caught something was Jared, and Christina actually caught herself on her shirt. That was
Oh, at
about
least it was a shirt and not like
it.
through her skin. Oh,
And
I've done that.
so we sat there and we just enjoyed, the lake
Mhm.
and stuff that we were out. And then we went to stop by the grocery store where Christina works. And just as we got in, not like 15 minutes later, I mean, there was a downpour. And I'm like,
Oh
thank you,
no.
Lord. So it stopped from like 3 o'clock to like six something. And then it just poured. I was like, thank you.
Yep, timing.
And
Yep.
so we ordered um we ordered a cake because Christina wanted to celebrate, birthday, because her birthday's this month. And then we went home, which was an hour drive home, but still we came home, and we went to church the next day, and Christina did a beautiful song. And I have that video. It's under I'll be loading up the song separately, but I did it for right now under Devotion Tuesday, A Grateful Heart. And I put that song, and she did We Gather Together, because she said she was just grateful that God answered a prayer for this to all kind of come together. And I can tell you one thing from the our YouTube community that came together for such a tremendous good to help was just amazing. There was a fundraiser done on 6 channels on Saturday, and I was not feeling the greatest, but I wasn't on the panel, but I was just in the chat, and I was able to. I said, "Well, I'll donate a blanket. I've got, yarn for baby blankets," and I said, "I'll do a baby's blanket." And it's this little girl that had, she's not even 3, and she has stage 4 brain cancer, and she's in Canada. And I said, if we don't realize what the platform that we are all on can do, there is so much more that we can do than what I think we even can wrap our heads around. When I put out the call to say, anybody that feels they would like to donate for this plane ticket to make this happen, people came out in droves. And I'm not going to blast them here because it's not the place, and I told them that. And there were people that couldn't but shared the post on their community tabs and made it happen. So her plane ticket was covered in full, plus a little bit towards the horseback riding. And I can tell you, she just cried. I mean, she was just like, I am so grateful and thankful that people that I didn't even know, like this little girl that this fundraiser was done. And, they didn't know this family, but they just heard the call. And they came together to help them because they've now had to leave their home and go to Toronto and have all the care done because it's a very, very rare form of brain cancer. And
St. Kitts Hospital in Toronto is second to none. It is one of the best in the world.
Her name is Livia, I think, Livila. And she actually has named herself Princess Warrior. That's been her name now that they've given her.
Awesome.
And it was just like, I know what it's like for people that don't know you. They were blown away. And I'm like, I know what that's like. We went through it with my aunt. Just people came together and did it. And I did it just for anybody that can. I have done a channel shout out on our channel from the 1st to the 6th of everybody that was on panel. So go look at their channel, go look at a little bit of the fundraiser, and just support their channels because they were on from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
For this little girl that they didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I just think we can do so much more through the power of what we have in front of us. And my aunt was just, she's like, I can't believe this, that people I don't even know made this all possible. So we went to church on Saturday or Sunday, and then we came home and just rested. Christina went home, or no, she came back with us Sunday and spent Monday, and we went down to the Amish country. So there's a picture of us riding in a horse and buggy, which is kind of like we took the Amish buggy limo. And my aunt actually got to guide the horses. They handed they handed the reins to my aunt and let her guide a little bit. And then Christina was originally in the back with me, and we moved it. She had to go up front because she had to do it too. And so my aunt thought that was so cool. And they take you around the farm and show you all these different animals and everything, and lets you ride in a horse and buggy. So she got to do that. And then we went to Der Dutchman, which was kind of special for me because when I used to come up to Ohio to visit my namesake who lived in the area we live in, we used to always go down to Der Dutchman. Now you have to understand, I'm a Florida girl. So I used to love, and I think I sent you that picture of all of us sitting around the table eating.
Right.
We
That is this one.
Yes, I was
Okay.
sitting there now. I'm just looking at that, just to be able to see the countryside and the hills and the farms. This girl
Beautiful.
had nothing but flat land. No, I was
Mhm.
in Florida. There was nothing but flat land, and
Mhm.
so I was just like, we had nothing but flat land. So for me to go to Der Dutchman and see all this countryside was just beautiful. Um, and my aunt just said the food was just delicious as we knew it was going to be. So that place was special because for me, that was something that I went when I was in my teens. And we'd always go down to the
Oh,
country, and then they have shops
nice.
and all that kind of stuff. So um, we went there and just had a beautiful place to look out on out the window, as you can see,
Mhm.
around it. So we went there, and then I took my aunt to the Christmas shop. There's a 24/7 or 20, not 24/7, 365 day a year Christmas shop,
Oh,
which
wow.
means that um, you can, it's Christmas all year round. And I said to her, I want you to go pick up, I want you to go pick out Christmas ornaments, and one for every um, one for everybody in the family. I hope she's still here at Christmas time, but on the occasion she's not,
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to have a gift. I said, I don't know. I don't want to see what you're picking out. I don't
No.
want to. I don't want to choose that. Hold on a second, and I'll turn on the light because it's getting dark. It's getting early dark.
Okay, so I'm just going to say hi to Dawn and hi to Dee Dee. Nice to see you. Dawn, good on you for catching up on 2 times speed. I will try not to speak super fast so that you can hear me at a regular pace. Or not, whatever.
Okay, you can
There
see
we
me a
go.
little bit better.
We can see you now. Actually, now you have a halo.
Yeah, I have a halo and I'm not anything, but at least you can see me a little bit better before it gets dark.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, but it's a Christmas shop, and so they do 24 or 365 a year, 365 a year Christmas.
Hmm.
So I don't think I'm gonna get rid of that. And so I said, I don't want to see what the ornament is. I just want you to go pick out an ornament for everybody that isn't that is family. So we went ahead and did that. So she said that was so much fun to go pick out. And I said, I'll pay for it. I don't want you to have to pay for it. I said, I'll pay for it. And I want you to go and do just pick out ornaments. So that's what she did. So at Christmas time, we'll put them under the tree and be able to open them. And they'll be from her. And I said, pick out one for you to take back home. And she said, I come to Ohio and I pick out an ornament of a hammerhead shark. I said, there's the beach girl in you.
There you
She's not too far from the beach at all times.
No, no
Um,
doubt.
and on Friday night, she loves when I used to make crab cakes, and I use imitation crab meat and crab cakes, and what else? And fried eggplant. So I made a big dinner on Friday night, which everybody enjoyed. And I had, we had key lime pie and stuff that,
Mm.
I knew she was going to enjoy. And then
Mhm.
Tuesday, she said to me, what do you think about going to get a pedicure? I thought, well, that sounds fun. So we went and got a pedicure. There's Christina and I sitting there. She didn't want me to take a picture of her getting a pedicure. Um, but we laughed so hard because my aunt was trying to decide on colors. Which pinks, I mean, does you like this pink better than this pink? I mean, I'm always going to remember um, sitting in the pedicure chair with my aunt. And at one point, I just had to say, when she finally decided on the colors, I said, I took the book away. Okay, you're
Yeah.
done. more because she spent about a half an hour trying to just pick out a color. It was hysterical.
Yes.
And Christina and I did the same color, and it was so funny because I said I think we did like a autumn red kind of color. My aunt,
Oh,
oh, she said that's she said what she said, oh, red is for Christmas. And I said,
yeah.
okay. Oh wait, hold it. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see if I can turn my camera. Can you not
I got
see?
my nails done today.
Can you see what's running across out there? Do you see the deer?
I do. Oh, wow. Yes.
They're
Hello,
standing right
Bambi.
there, and
Look at you.
they'll come across our front yard.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
They just started running. Two of them
Huh.
standing right there. I saw
That's
them.
so
I'm
cool.
like, we can come out here, and they'll literally be like families running. And in the winter, we have to pay more attention because they'll come out of nowhere and just start.
Yeah.
And so we did that. Then we went to have Chipotle for lunch, and then we went home. And then on Wednesday, we relaxed, and then we went and we decided to celebrate Christina's birthday.
Is this you at Chipotle?
No, that wasn't. That was
Oh,
Wednesday.
oh, that was Wednesday.
That
Okay.
was Wednesday at the Mexican restaurant, and
Ah.
they put a big hat on Christina to wish her happy birthday. But you can show that picture because we did that. That's my
Mm-hmm.
mom, and that's Patty, and then Christina in the hat. Hi, Alfonso,
Hi, Alfonso.
and Dawn and Dee Dee. And then there's Mr. Blessed to Crochet.
Hello, Mr. Blessed to Crochet. Mr. Blessed to Crochet will be on with us
Yes.
on this coming Thursday.
Yes.
So you're not going to want to miss that because this is about a very unique situation that he's in. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. And then the part that I was dreading the most was going to be Thursday. When I had to say that, that final hug. That was and I don't know how my aunt did it. She probably got in the airport and cried. But she just kind of held it together a lot better than I think I did.
What's this picture?
That was church on Sunday.
Oh, okay. You all look lovely. I love your dress.
Thank you. Well, she's always done very good picking out outfits for my mother, and she brought that outfit that she had found and put together for my mother. So my mother wore it to church on Sunday.
Nice.
And then we took Mocha with us because we figured out it would just be a ride for her and help. So we took her with us because it's an hour and a half away. And I just gave her a hug and I said, I love you, which I told her plenty of times while she was here. And I said, I love you. And I said, I thank you for everything you've done. And I said, I said, I hope you're here for many years, but when you leave this world, you make sure you find Dad and Grandma and Nana and give them big hugs. Pass this hug on to them. And I will tell you that a lot of people there were several people that messaged and said, your hashtag one last hug inspired me to make that
Absolutely.
happen. I don't have any regrets. I'm glad she came. She's actually struggling with a cold right now, which is not good because of her, condition. She asked us whether or not what we would do in her situation. I think she has to try the chemo pills. Because if she doesn't try them, then she'll never know if they're going to work. However, the only thing I kept saying to her about it when she asked us is I said, I make sure you ask your doctor if there's long-term side effects you don't want to live with what time you have here left. And I remember our pastors in the medical field, and he said, if she's still smoking, I wouldn't even bother. And he we told her that. We said, you got to do what you got to do. But I think she has to try, because if she doesn't try, she'll never know.
Right.
Because guys, she's a fighter. She's not cancer picked the wrong body to get into. Let's just say that. I mean, she worked throughout her chemotherapy, and her doctors had no idea how she did that.
Wow.
She wasn't able to work as much, and there was days she did have to call in and say, sorry, I can't come in, but she worked. And she has not done anything else but fight like a Trojan through this entire thing. She didn't go down, and she wouldn't easily. And I just kept saying cancer may have her, but they don't have my memories.
No, for sure.
I love her, but when she was here, I remember saying, I know now why my dad and her had such a difficulty getting along with each other, was because they were so much alike. I mean, they both had the same level of anxiety, and it impacted me tremendously, because I was like, I wish my grandmother could see the results of how she decided to raise her children, because it affected both my dad and my aunt, and just
generationally. Yeah.
And at the same time, I realized I was around a lot of strong women. I've come from a lot of them that were fighters, and I'm thinking that has certainly helped me in my battle with dealing with fibromyalgia. Now, I can tell you, after she left, I collapsed. I have not regained my energy yet. I'm slowly, and there's dear friends that have just said, Mary, I didn't realize the emotional stress my body was underneath before my aunt got here.
And she left on the 22nd, right?
She left on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So
like 10 days ago.
Yeah. But I shouldn't be this tired. Like, I would do stuff going, I've done stuff for an hour and I'm still tired. Not like, but I think I didn't realize how much I was underneath emotionally, just dealing with the news of her updated diagnosis. I was dealing with the thought of her coming. What was this going to be like? All of those things that were going to happen. And I don't think I realized it. And then we were so busy throughout the entire time she was here, because we wanted to have a lot of things happen. And
want to fill it in.
And I still haven't recovered yet.
No.
I've done a lot of crocheting, and I've done a lot of work, and I've done a lot of things resting in bed, which just sounds, you think of my age and you think you should just be able to bounce back, and it's not happening. Not with the
I don't think that, because I am me.
Yeah.
And I understand that constant exhaustion, like the emotional pull, and therefore you're exhausted. There's no middle ground for me. So no, I totally get that. And probably a lot of people who are watching will also get that, because it's but you're right, you're young. You're not even 50 yet.
Yeah. I had a terrible migraine headache on Saturday. And I think I may have gotten a little stomach bug, which hasn't helped, because I didn't eat hardly for about 48 hours. So I'm kind of recovering from whatever that was.
Yeah.
Which didn't help. But I was absolutely exhausted, and we dropped her off at the airport. We got back here got her there about 1. We got back home about 3, because we stopped off and had Raising Cane's, which, if anybody ever has a Raising Cane's, they outdo Chick-fil-A, hands down. We're about ready to get one in Ohio near us. I'm so excited.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, yeah. I'm not very much of who is he now? Willie Nelson. I think the man can't sing
Oh,
worth a
yep.
darn. Not trying to offend any Willie Nelson fans. I just don't think the man can sing, but that's aside.
It's like me and Bob Dylan. I can't stand him.
But he owns part of Raising Cane's. It is the one thing they
Oh,
do right. It is chicken
okay.
tenders on steroids. If you have a Raising Cane's, it's delicious. So
Okay.
there's one there, and there's one coming next year, and I can't wait to our area. But we stopped off and we had Raising Cane's, and it literally we got home at 3, and I think it took me till about 6 o'clock to finally even to go have a nap because I was so wired. I was
Mhm.
just so all the emotions were pent up,
Right.
and I've had some times where I've cried, but I've been to some degree somewhat numb. I'm just like, okay, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
Is it
Which
numb or is it at peace? What do you think?
I think it's a mixture.
Okay.
I'm at peace. I don't regret anything. I'm glad she came.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm also waiting for that kind of
Still
Don
that.
Gloves. Don Gloves knows exactly what I'm talking about with Raising Cane's.
Exactly.
I'm still sitting there going, I'm still waiting for when is it all going to happen?
Okay.
It's kind of like a repeat almost of what I did with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he had the dementia, it was kind of like he had the dementia, and it was like, okay, I'm waiting. There was a point where he just finally said, "You're going to cry over everything he can't do?
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
stop crying over it." And then when he finally passed 7 years later, you grieved over the man you lost prior to the dementia. And I didn't expect to grieve that hard. I expected to feel like, okay, he's gone, he's with the Lord, he's
Yeah.
not hurting anymore. That was not the case. It threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
So I am, and I don't want her to suffer. You know, I just sit there going, I'm concerned for what is ahead of her. You know, when when you're talking about the lungs and the oxygen and all that kind of stuff, and at this point she wants to smoke for the rest of her life, go ahead and do it. Um,
Absolutely. I mean, yeah,
she,
if the
she
worst thing she ever does in her life is smoke, what's it going to do? Kill her?
um, she probably went through a whole carton while she was here. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
I mean, and all of that's part nerves. And at one point I was trying to say to her, she said I'm at peace, and I said, it's wonderful, but you may be at peace to where you're going and peace about all this. But she was doing a lot of controlling
Mm,
what she couldn't, because her life is so out of control. She can't control the cancer.
that's right.
So let's
Nope.
control every little thing. Christina, turn down the volume on the TV. And I'm not criticizing her, guys, in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to say there was a lot of grace that was extended because we knew that she was trying to control the minor. Hi, Sandy. She's trying to control the minor because she can't control the cancer.
Absolutely.
And she said, I'm not scared. And I'm like, okay. I'd be petrified to think what it was coming down the pike.
My mom's best friend died with brain cancer, and toward the end of her life, she became very controlling, much
Yeah.
like your aunt.
Yes.
And I will have to point out to my mom, because my mom just didn't understand it. And your point of view is right on the money. It makes total sense as soon as you hear it. But yeah, I will talk to her about this, and she'll probably watch this episode later. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. We had to give the rest of ourselves grace
yeah.
because we were this was emotional.
Oh
We
yeah.
knew every day that we had with her was precious, and we knew that final hug was coming. And I
Mhm.
cried. And
Yeah.
one of the days was hard because a relative that, for whatever reason, has chosen to disconnect, hi, Carry On, to disconnect from us, called on the phone, and I heard their voice for the first time in about 9 months. And I just about took every bean not to run through and say, "Excuse me, do you remember who I am?" And I thought, no, this is not the place or time. If that person wants to disconnect and not talk to us for various reasons, that's
That's
fine.
their loss. Yeah.
That's their loss.
Yeah.
But this isn't the time to do it. I've sent the package. I've sent my letter. I've kissed the package and said goodbye and I love, and the rest is up to them.
Mhm.
With that being said, there are people that are stepping into my life, but they're also coming and stepping beside Christina. And there's
Mm.
two people in Pacific that I cannot thank enough. They're almost stepping in the role of being an aunt because this
Mm.
kid's about to lose one and she's already lost another one out of her control.
Right.
And
Right.
it means the world that they're sitting there going, okay, we're gonna take over. We got this.
We're gonna love on you.
Yep. And
Yep.
it has tremendously helped Christina process through some of this. And I
That's
I
wonderful.
can't thank those two ladies enough. Um, from the bottom of my heart.
Mhm.
And she said to us, she goes, well, we're coming here to drive. I'm coming up there to drive you crazy. And that wasn't far from it. She was.
Yeah.
I mean, there was times I had to go in my room and pull out my crochet hook going, I need a break because she has always been very intense. And so was my dad, a very
Okay.
intense individual. She is someone that has struggled, had a really rough life in growing up with
Mhm.
a very, very unpredictable mother, a father that died at the age of 9.
Mm.
Um, she had a lot of stuff happen, a lot of abuse. She had abuse. If you could name it, she had it all over the place.
Wow.
Um, and she had alcohol and drug abuse and everything. And so this woman has been through heck and high water, but she's always been an intense individual, and rightfully so. I just wonder if she had been raised in a different environment, if she would have been the same.
Mhm.
And I kind of wonder about that for my dad, if he hadn't had a mother that was all over the place with not correct bipolar medication and
Mm.
stuff and properly treated, I think it would have been a different situation. But it
Mhm.
is what it is. But at the end of it, I thought, you know what? I have been surrounded by strong, strong women. And even though she's intense, she's fighting like a Trojan.
Yeah.
And I thought, I've had to sit there and fight for what Christina needed and all the services she needed and her service dog. I've had to fight for my husband and all the things he needs. And I'm
Mhm.
having to fight fibromyalgia. And I
Mhm.
don't always do it the greatest, um, but I do
But
it.
when you're in the middle of fighting 18 wars,
Yeah.
one battle, what's that battle, right?
Well, and since I've connected with people who have started
Mhm.
to really get to know me, they sit there and go, you're taking care of everybody else but yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple nights when she was here. I know I pushed my body further than what it really could do.
Mhm.
And there was one night, especially after we cooked dinner, and of course I had to have my mom's help. And I just remember getting in bed thinking, I don't even have the energy to get up and brush my teeth.
Mhm.
I'm laying right here. I can't
Mhm.
move. I was in bed crying because I hurt so bad. And I'm I can't get up again. I've got to
Mhm.
stop moving for a while. Um, so I just kept saying, okay, God, um, do me the favor of giving me the strength.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and
Absolutely.
on a side note, something decided, oh, but by the way, it's that time. And I was like, please, not that, please. Because
Yay, Shark Week. Yeah.
I'm sitting, but people have to understand when you are a fibromyalgia patient, those women that go through that, their time is much more painful. And I was sitting there going, oh God,
Oh,
please.
yeah.
I mean, I've been doubled over in bed in tears, not able to do anything. And I thought, this is not the week. And I was very thankful that it was not a tremendously painful
Awesome.
month. And I'm saying that because it's the truth. It is one of the parts of fibromyalgia that is, I think, very much not talked about. And most people that have it don't realize that you're probably going to be something that you're going to deal with, unfortunately. And it cannot, I mean, it's hard enough, but it can be debilitating when you're dealing with fibromyalgia.
For sure.
So I mean, it may take me a month to recover.
It may take longer. You don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I just
I don't
think
know.
I didn't realize how much emotional being was there,
Yeah.
how much before she even came. I did a lot of crying before she came.
You did.
I did a lot of times where I wasn't sleeping and times where I was tired. And I thought by the time she came, I was already emotionally exhausted. And I think that's probably why I'm not bouncing back. And I'm like, okay, if it takes me, whatever, then it takes me. I need to just give my body the rest that it needs for as long as it needs, as frustrating as it is.
Exactly. Yep. And people who don't understand the physical need of your body to rest in order to recover, emotional exhaustion takes probably 2 or 3 times longer to recover than physical exhaustion.
Yeah.
Like you work physically hard for a day, you're going to be tired the end of that night, but you're going to wake up the next morning going, oh, that was a good sleep. You are emotionally exhausted. You're going to wake up the next morning going, oh, why could I not have slept another 2 or 3 days? Right?
Well, yeah, but with fibromyalgia, you can go to bed and sleep for 8 hours and wake up going, oh, really? Did I really sleep for 8 hours? Because I don't feel like I got any sleep. And that can be a little bit, that can be frustrating. And sitting there going, well, did I really? Yeah, I slept for 8 hours, but I don't feel like I did. And I think there was, it's kind of almost like a Christmas present. If you think about Christmas, you get all excited about Christmas, and then when it's over, you go in a little bit of a funk. And I think that's probably what happened on top of everything else. My therapist she started with Josh to do, what is that thing where she's not doing the light, but with the buzzers in each hand.
So it's not EMDR.
No, EMDR, that's what it is.
It is EMDR. So eye movement desensitization.
Yeah.
Eye movement desensitization and reprogramming.
Yes, but she's not doing the lights because that would trigger a migraine from him and for me. So she's doing it with the buzzers, and she's starting with him. And she wanted to start with me, and I've just said to her, I'm not going to be ready. I don't know if I'm going to be ready even this year, because what I'm afraid may happen, and what I said to her is, depending, if she said it's not that we can't stop, but she would rather it be pretty consistent for 6 weeks or something. And first of all, I don't think I have the mental energy to do it right now. I just think that it's a lot, and I'm just not mentally there. And
is it daily for 6 weeks? That's a lot.
It's just every week. But
okay.
She said it's intense and all that, and I'm thinking, I'm just really tired. I don't feel like I'm in the right place for it, and I'm concerned that if we get the call, that I'm not going to be in a good place for a little bit after that.
You're exactly right.
The only thing I've said is, as our pastor said to my aunt, which I thought was so beautiful, he said, we all have expiration dates on us. You know,
Mhm.
God knows you're coming here
Mhm.
when, you're leaving this world when. You have to know who at the end, who your savior is.
Mhm.
Um and there's nothing you can do to stop
Nope.
that. You know, she can try to take the chemo pills, but if God says she's leaving this world in 3 months, she's leaving this world in 3 months. I
Mhm.
know I can't stop any of that. I've just said, Lord, can you please not do it around the same time you've taken my dad and my grandfather? Because it's
Oh,
always been, my dad passed away New Year's Day and my grandfather passed away New Year's Eve.
yes.
And that's such a hard time for me because some years are harder than others.
Mhm.
I don't even, I have no desire really. I mean, I do, but I'm like, just can I go to bed and then forget it? Because my grandfather passed away 97 at 11:50 at night, and my dad at 12:30 on January 1st. And
Mhm.
it's like I don't have any desire to really celebrate it. So I'm like, can you let her get through the holiday season one more with her daughter and this before you take her home? And I can't, if she's going to do what she's going to do. But
This is from Psalm 139. Like an open book, you watched me grow from conception to birth. All the stages of my life were spread out before you. The days of my life were prepared before I had lived even one day.
exactly.
Yeah. I find
Um,
that incredibly comforting. I
yes.
really do.
One of the things that was really bittersweet
Mhm.
was that on September, it is September, but August the 19th, our
Mhm.
channel was partially monetized and was approved for it. And
That's
that was
awesome.
bittersweet. As we were going down in the Amish country, I did a video saying, "We got it, guys." Uh, and
So partially monetized means what?
which means we get the availability for memberships and super chats. Um, and so that was like the bittersweet part of the whole thing.
Mm.
And I thought Christina's birthday is on the 19th, so the 19th must be a really lucky day.
Her
So
birthday's August 19th?
no, it's September 19th, but it
Oh,
was the
September.
19th. It was the 19th.
Okay, so got
So
it.
um,
My wedding anniversary is August 19th. My mom's birthday is August 19th. So
good day.
I was thinking if her birthday was August 19th, that would just been right there.
So
Okay.
I was just sitting there going, I woke up the 19th, like we hit it. We did it. So I think like I think we're at like 70 away from 1,000. And there is there's several YouTube channels that came like full force for us to make the 3,000 happen. But there's one channel
Wow.
that is literally running our full playlist of 217.
Oh my goodness.
So I guarantee you the watch hours will probably be there before the end of the year, and I'm hoping that the the subscribers will be there and we'll get it. But we're participating with Gale Southern Living and Broken Hearts Ministry with the fall giveaway. So if anybody wants to, the playlist is on my channel. You can go to the official playlist because there's a couple more videos I need to add to that.
Mhm.
That are participating, and somebody's going to win all of the prizes for all 40
Ooh.
all 40 channels, the grand prize winner.
Ooh.
She is doing a Canadian one.
Is she?
Yes, I did. I told you it was US, but if you
Yep.
go and you look, she is doing one for Canada if Kim wanted to participate. But
Okay.
we've gotten some subscribers and so forth, but that happened in the mix of it. And I was even able to go on the lifeboat and say bittersweet. And I got the trophy raised to me by
I saw
daughter.
that.
He
I
was like,
saw that.
shut
Yes.
up. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
bittersweet, but we did it.
Yeah.
Um, so doesn't mean we have to give up. We still need people watching our stuff
Nope.
and doing that. And
Same here. In the
Yes.
bottom corner, you will see a like, share, subscribe button.
Yep.
Please click it if you have not subscribed, liked, or shared.
Yeah.
If you choose to subscribe, I would love to have you on board.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm so excited for you, Mary.
Just a little side note, just for people that we've been doing what's called take a break shout outs.
Mhm.
And we have them actually on a spreadsheet. We know when we've given a shout out so that we're not repeating the same thing over and over again.
Mhm.
And go and pay attention to your YouTube channel, you're watching. Go pay attention to their community tab. And Sandy Wendy was sitting there going, as I said the other day, I'm finding out that I'm going to people's channels, I'm paying attention to their shorts, I'm paying attention to their lives, and then I'm going to find out what they're doing in their community tab. Are they there lifting up other channels? Are they there shouting out other channels? What are they doing in their community tab? Because it will tell you a lot about their channel. And then I go to their videos. But what is happening by doing that is community tabs are starting to pop up in my live feeds a lot more because I'm paying attention to them a lot more. So you would be surprised because everyone's like, we don't ever see the community tab. Well, it's because,
I do nothing in my community tab.
but it's kind of like the lamp that you get from the aunt for the wedding that you put off in the corner and you kind of ignore,
Yep.
until the aunt comes around. Well, Sandy's like, I've been paying more attention to my community tab, and I've been wondering why I'm getting to see him more in my feed. It's like, she goes, now I know why.
Yep.
You're paying attention to more of your community tab. So I think it's the most underused part of it, but start calling attention to people's community tabs because then it will pop into your feed and you're going to learn a lot about a channel and what they're doing and so forth by what their community tab is doing.
Okay.
And there's some channels that don't do anything with their community tab, and that's fine. It's their channels. They do what they want.
Mea culpa. Yep.
Just start utilizing it more.
I have no idea what to do with it. I'll have to chat with you sometime about what to do with my community tab. Because you are so, I know this has nothing to do with One Last Hug, but you are so adept at what you're doing with your channel. Honestly, I am in awe of you. So yeah. So I'm just going to ask you this. Sorry?
We're going to start, I think, probably towards the end of the month, starting. I'm going to see if I can get, hi, Cosmic, see if I can talk to Kevin, see if he'd be willing to just come on for the first time we do it. But just to like a YouTube chatter. And I'm thinking if we don't document what we've done when we get bigger, I'm going to go, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
By the way,
yeah, I forgot about that. And so I want to document our journey through the process so that people that are starting can learn what we've kind of learned. And it's documented and we know, oh, yeah, that's what we did from the very beginning because we'll forget it. I know.
Yeah, it's already gone from mine. So yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah. So anyway, I do want to ask you, what was for this whole experience? What is your greatest takeaway? Your happiest takeaway from this whole One Last Hug experience? Hi, Cosmic.
Make it happen. If you can do it, make it happen. And here's the other thing that I say this to Christina, and I've said to her a couple of times, and I think it was a couple of years ago, and I came up with the saying, don't put handcuffs on God. Because we were sitting, foremost about the whole thing is ask for help. That's the top one. When I was sitting there, and we were talking about it actually in our Bible study a couple weeks ago in church, our women's Bible study, and I said, I was sitting there going in my head as my mom and I are both trying to look for plane tickets and all this kind of stuff going and doing this and crying and going back and forth. And I finally just sat on the bed and I thought, God, I can't do this. And I got really quiet. And he said, Mary, reach out to Cricket. I mean, I heard it as clear as today.
Wow.
And I reached out to Cricket, those that know her, Chow Yun Samut, and I said to her, she's a travel agent. I said, help. We've got to look for plane tickets. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. This is overwhelming. And she helped with the logistic part of it.
Wow.
It was not even a it was not even a flight that we even came across with. But
Really?
it was wonderful. You know, she kind of steered us away from the ones we were looking at. And in the process of all that, when we got done with her,
Mm-hmm.
when we got it all figured out and everything, I said, I think I can put on the community tab, or not the community tab. We were talking to her the first night when I got in touch with her. And I said to my mom, I wonder if I just go to my YouTube community and our YouTube community, because it's our channel. And I said, see what they'll be willing, see if anybody wants to help.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because it was a $414 ticket. And that didn't include the money.
That's not nothing.
No, but that did not include the money that we spent while she was here. Food, gas, you know, extra things that we did, you know, and so forth and so on, which
the memories that you make cost money.
Yes. But by not having the ticket amount to have to deal with, then we were able to make the other memories happen.
That's right.
She, you know, and there was people on her end that also gave her money for the trip up here to say, go ahead and have a lovely time with your family.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up not having that burden. And it just happened to be that the airline that Cricket found, one of the people that helped, that's the airline they use a lot, and they had, you know, airline points. So they had enough points to cover her home visit. So we just took care of the other donations rolled in. People shared it on their community tab, and it was taken care of. And so I'm thinking, God knew I couldn't do this. I wasn't thinking about looking at this airline.
Yeah.
But somebody that was removed from the situation was able to do it. That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were too emotionally attached. Asked for help. And then the second thing was just to enjoy her while she was here. And let the emotions. And another thing that I can say was something too, I tried not to treat her like a cancer patient.
Yeah.
You know, with what we're going to be talking to, kind of rolls into what we're going to be talking to with Josh on Thursday, is understanding what he's going through was hard for her to understand. And there were times where I had to say, where I knew, because he was dealing with, you know, 3 or 4 women in the house and house changes and all that. I mean, he's ADHD autistic, even though he wasn't properly diagnosed. And so I'm like, there were several times I had to say to her, Patty, you got to let me deal with him and stop talking, which is very hard for her family to do for some reason.
And does being Greek have anything to do with that?
Probably. But I tried very hard to not treat her as if she had cancer.
Right.
Just treated her like my aunt.
Yeah. She is not her diagnosis. She happens to have that diagnosis.
And so, and giving her grace and everybody else grace around it, and just enjoying every moment, even the ones that were not the easiest to get through, even the ones that were difficult.
Right.
And just asking for help and seeing the community come together the way they did. I don't, if connection is our key to a lot, then guys, we really don't want, we've got something in a bottle here if we can just lean into it.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
And I was very worried. I enjoyed cake. I enjoyed cinnamon rolls. I enjoyed things that we had. And I think I gained a pound,
Hmm.
which I was very thankful to see.
Nice.
um, I didn't gain 5 pounds, and I didn't,
Right.
I didn't come. My concern was after she left, I was very careful to not eat for emotional reasons.
Exactly.
But it was because
Yeah.
I had prepared myself with my community and the people around me that weren't going to allow me to do it.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. So,
So, if there were anything to do over again, I'm not asking for a regret, but if there was anything you could either repeat or do differently, what would you do?
have her here for an additional week so we weren't pushing so hard. Um,
That's a good point.
I don't think she
Take your
would have been.
time.
I don't think she would have been able to stay. But I really wish that we
Oh,
had that extra week to not have to fit everything in the way that we had to
right.
fit it in. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
change a moment of it.
right.
You know. Um, and I won't forget it. I won't forget the people that came beside us and our family,
Hmm.
um, and that were there after to make sure that, hey, you're not in the lifeboat. Why? You know,
Yeah,
and are you okay? And they were just checking in. They
yeah,
weren't going to allow me to sit and wallow,
that's right.
and it's not going to be easy
Hmm.
as the months go on. Um, and that the waiting for that phone call is not going to be easy either. I'm not
No,
looking forward
not
to
at
it.
all.
Um,
No.
especially if it comes from the person that chooses to disconnect.
Yeah,
That's going to be a really,
yeah. That
um,
would be
I've already
that
said,
would be a rough one.
I've said to my mom, if that person is the one that calls us with the news, you're going to have to handle it because you're going to hear me yelling. And it's just
Oh,
that one I'm not looking forward to. And I'm,
right.
I'm hoping that it's not, I'm hoping that it's her friends that will call and let us know, or her daughter.
Hmm.
There's another deer just walking across the driveway over there. If I turn
Hi,
my camera,
dear.
you won't see it, but he's
It's too
literally,
dark.
or she, walking across the driveway. They come
Yeah,
out a lot more in the summer, or in the
that's
winter.
right.
But yeah, that's one I'm not looking forward to.
For sure. Well,
Is
Mary,
is how that all.
thank
But
you.
that's in God's hands.
Thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you for being open and vulnerable and being able to walk us through your process so that perhaps our own processes don't have to be as difficult as they could be. So I
Guys,
appreciate that.
don't suffer in silence. There's no need for it.
No,
There's no need for you to do it. We're all here as a
absolutely.
community. The ripples of the lifeboat. If everybody from the lifeboat would come over and support the ripples, they'd all be at where they need to be.
Hmm.
And they're exactly where they need to be, and they've got their support. But I think we need to realize the importance of the ripples that are happening.
Yeah,
They're there, so literally you guys have support all the way around you.
everywhere. And from every lifestyle, belief system, personality, we've all got our own we've all got something to give, right? So if you don't connect with how I act, if you don't connect how Mary acts, maybe you'll connect more with cosmic, or maybe you'll with mystic, um,
Mr.
or thank you, Miss Dragon. So for some reason Mystic was just coming to my head.
Well,
But yeah, like
it's not only that, but it's like, and Tommy has said it on the boat, is, I don't have fibromyalgia.
Right.
And I've had family members that have dealt with bipolar, but I've never had it.
Right.
But so he can't understand what it's like to have fibromyalgia. Either can Spanx. To sit
That's
there
right.
going, I'm going to wake up in pain, I'm going to go into bed pain. And it's
Yeah.
all the other stuff that come with it. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people on the boat that are dealing with different issues that he's amazing,
Absolutely.
but that he has no experience in because he hasn't had to deal with it.
That's right.
That's
And
why
each of us has those.
Yeah.
I am Tommy has a group of 5 people he goes to when he needs help with addiction problems, and each of those have a group of 5 people that they go to for addiction problems. One of Tommy's people happens to be one of my people. I am one of the people she goes to for emotional problems, right?
Exactly.
So I am not your addiction girl,
No.
but I will talk about emotions, psychology, how to deal with things, how to get through rough patches. Mary, you might be more of a person to deal with family troubles and that kind of stuff. That kind of thing. So we all have our niche.
Yeah,
And I love that. Misha came up with that whole idea of ripples,
Yeah.
because it's exactly who we are. We are
Exactly.
exactly that. Yeah.
So, and I would really encourage everybody to come back on Thursday and
Please
listen
do.
to Josh's story.
Yeah.
If you may not know him personally, but it'll probably be the first one you'll have run into that has what he is dealing with, and he is willing to tell his story so that other people that are dealing with it don't feel like they're alone, because he feels very much like nobody else has it in the world.
And nobody would understand, and nobody would care to understand. I think that's a big part of it as well. So yes, please come back Thursday. It is going to be a very important discussion that we have with Josh. And thank you, Mary. Thank
And
you.
I will
Thank
be
you.
on screen just to support him. Hopefully by then my computer will decide to work correctly.
Yes.
I got
Yep.
the camera to pop on, and then something happened, and I'm like, I just kept clicking, and I'm like, well, we'll just go take this outside. But I know it
Yes.
wasn't the best camera light, but it worked.
That's okay. It worked.
So
Alrighty.
I will
I'll
be
talk
on.
to you later.
Yes, I look forward to
I
seeing
love you, my
everybody
friend.
on Thursday.
All right.
Love you
Bye
all.
bye.